Atlanta, Georgia. This is Madden NFL 21. Falcons taking on Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago Bears.
Summer drawing to a close here in the Southeast. The roof is closed at the wondrous Mercedes-Benz Stadium due to the hot temps still outside here in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. All set to do the honors, and we are underway from Atlanta. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Bears take over first and 10.
Mitch Trubisky taking the field to lead Chicago. Trubisky, the Ohio native, went to North Carolina, then drafted by these Bears as the number 2 pick in 2017.
We've seen a lot of ups and downs in the young career of Mitch Trubisky. 3 years with the Chicago Bears, and he's a young quarterback still learning on the job. But what numbers do you trust with him? 8-7, 15 starts last year, but he was 11-3 the year before. The Bears offense, though, in 2019, just 25th in passing and 29th overall. They're looking for Mitch Trubisky to elevate his game and bring the Bears along with him.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield.
Trubisky's pass complete to Tariq Cohen. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he's got Miller. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
To Anthony Miller.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
First down, Chicago.
And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
They'll run for the first time with Tariq Cohen. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
The tackle made.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
$13 yards remaining on 2nd down. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked.
How about that one? The so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, and someone jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now Trubisky to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
2 things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Matt Ryan, the longtime Falcon, a veteran who's been in the league since 2008, ready to guide this Atlanta offense.
This past offseason was one where the Atlanta organization continued to build around their quarterback, Matt Ryan, because he can still throw the rock. 5th in the NFL in passing yards last year with better than 4,400. He's a guy who knows how to get the ball to his guys on the perimeter and take care of it even when he's under duress in the pocket. Sacked 48 times last year.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at the 34. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Ryan. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. From the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On 4th down, the Falcons trot out the rookie punter from Syracuse, Sterling Hoffrichter. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Bears take over. Chicago's offense working their way back out here. And, Charles, this is a team that you saw in Week 2 in that very thin win over the New York Giants, 17-13. So both wins this year have been by a slim margin, but here's the bottom line. The Chicago Bears are 2-0, so what have you seen from this team?
I really felt like the first win at Detroit felt better to them, even though, as you noted, it was by a slim margin because of the comeback. It came from 23 to 6 down. In this game against the Giants, they were up 17 to nothing. The Giants lose their best player in Saquon Barkley, one of their top players in Sterling Shepard on offense, and Chicago really doesn't capitalize. They end up holding on and winning 17 to 13, but I do still like this Bears defense. I think any team that's got to try and block that front, that's a problem. And in pass situations, Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, and now they can trot out Robert Quinn. Good luck keeping those guys away from your quarterback. So there is optimism for this team, but they'll need their quarterback to play well and the defense to carry them a little bit. It'll be a big one for them next week in Atlanta. Remember, the Falcons are 0-2 and coming off a really depressing loss at Dallas.
Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
And 10.
Out of the gun, Trubisky stepping up. He's going to keep it. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Trubisky. And Graham's got it. Complete. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Trubisky. He may try and run for this. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 25-yard line. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
No score.
First down, a run with Cohen. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course. Play action. Now Trubisky. The connection made. It's Graham.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here. And just a yard to go here on second down. Here's David Montgomery, second-year man from Iowa State. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Okay, 2nd and 1, you get nothing. What now on 3rd and 1?
Sorry about that. I was so excited I jumped in on you. This is almost like practice to me. Line it up and do it again. You didn't get it right the first time. Just get right back on the ball and go. It doesn't matter that they know you're coming. You ought to be able to pick up this short yardage.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Completes it to Miller. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Complete to Anthony Miller. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Falcons' 7-yard line.
Second down and 3, ball on the 7. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Tariq Cohen touchdown. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Falcons football again, and Charles, this is an Atlanta Falcons team that just suffered a heartbreaking loss to Dallas in Week 2. And their offense, though, playing at an elite level, 64 points in 2 games. But here's the stat from the Week 2 game against Dallas. It's crazy. In NFL history, teams that scored 39 points or more with no turnovers offensively were 440-0, but they're now 440-1 after that loss to the Cowboys.
You know what that stat sounds like, partner? It sounds like the NCAA basketball tournament. 16 playing a 1, and it never had happened until a couple of years ago. And then it did happen, right? That's the same thing with this guy, 440-0. It finally happened. The Falcons led the whole way. They were up 39-24 with 5 minutes to go, and then it all came apart. And the onside kick, I'll never understand how the Falcons didn't attack the onside kick, recover the football, and end the game. But then Greg Zuerlein, Greg the Leg, came in for Dallas and finished things off. What a comeback for them. And then the next 2 weeks, the 2-0 Bears are coming to town. And then another 2-0 team they have to play, and that's the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, not an easy start to the season for the Atlanta Falcons. Things could get interesting here. Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up second.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Ryan's throw caught by Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
We're closing in on halftime, and that's Julio's first catch of the game. That's got to be a surprise for not just us, but even the defense, who's done a heck of a job taking him away from the Falcons.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that one's complete to Gurley. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Ryan going to get this complete to Hurst. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And that is no good. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Ryan. is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Hayden Hurst there to make the grab. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Point after try forthcoming.
Point after.
It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now it's Patterson. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard.
David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. Now Trubisky on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Throwing here, Trubisky. He can run for it, and he will. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. A 40-yard punt, no return, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Atlanta now coming out on the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. in need of only about the length of the football here on second down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. 7 yards there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard.
So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Here's Powell on the return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He's back to throw here to start the drive. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. Clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Ball carrier.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky, and he completes it to Cohen. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? From From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot him. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Operating from the gun. Ryan. Jones has it. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Catch there by Julio Jones. And let's face it, we're almost running out of ways to say he's great. So let's put it into this context. 3rd among active players in receiving yards, starting 2020, just 852 yards behind tight end Jason Witten.
Third and long, it's Ryan. And it is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chicago offense set to get started. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has a total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Trubisky to throw. It's complete to Robinson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First catch for the Bears' leading receiver from a year ago. It's a Chicago 1st down.
Always thought Allen Robinson was a high flyer from his days at Penn State, and none of that has changed with the Chicago Bears. If you throw the ball out to the perimeter, if it's a 50-50 ball, more times than not, he's going to come down with it. And some say he was the victim of some subpar quarterback play last year. he didn't let that bother him at all. Stud, 98 catches and over 1,000 yards receiving. Allen Robinson just goes out and plays hard each and every week.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, I haven't met an NFL player yet that doesn't use criticism as an edge, and Jimmy Graham has heard that a number of people think he's near the end of his career. And he didn't put up the numbers he should have put up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to play with a huge chip on his shoulder. Nice catch there. And he wants to show flashes of that form that he exhibited early in his career with New Orleans and Seattle.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Atlanta, Georgia's the spot, and glad to have you along for the ride. 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. On 3rd down, Trubisky. He may try and run for this. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky, and he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Tyler Davison hauling it off the edge to sack him.
3 yards. And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
On the coverage.
A big one coming for kicker Eddie Pinheiro.
The Bears field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
Falcons 7.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Falcons ready to take over. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10, right at the 30. And he'll drop here to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
And there's a familiar sight. Khalil Mack putting a quarterback down in the backfield for another sack. I know he only had 8.5 sacks in 2019, so a lot of people wrote that off as, hey, what's going on with Khalil Mack? You do realize he's getting doubled and tripled on just about every snap, but that was the first time since his rookie year of 2014 that he finished the season with less than 10 sacks.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, it's Ryan. Short throw underneath to Hurst. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, Ryan. Complete to Jones. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
To Julio Jones.
Julio Jones has averaged 90 receiving yards per game every season since 2013. And when you factor in that every game plan calls for them double and triple covering him, yet he's still putting up those kind of numbers, that tells you the excellence of Julio Jones.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He's tackled at the
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back,
now Trubisky lost the football, and the Falcons say they have it, they do.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
recovery. It's Ryan. He's going to dump it off to Gurley.
Ryan's pass complete.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Operating from the gun. Ryan over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
That's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Certainly some pressure here on Younghoe Koo. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is right there. It's good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Now it's Patterson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
On the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10. At their own.
The Falcons defense gearing up as they take the field. And they forced that fumble the last time, and when it happens on a previous drive, you kind of get thirsty for it to happen again.
No doubt about it, because the person who created the turnover or the takeaway, he's getting the gold star. He's going to be the one we look at in film session and go, way to go. Everybody wants that praise from the coach. That means the next time out, you want it to be you.
Do they still hand out gold stars?
You know, amazingly enough, it's the simple things in life that motivate these guys.
A sticker, just a little gold sticker.
A little helmet sticker in college.
Yeah, put it on your fridge.
Put a little gold sticker on their scouting sheet. Things like that. They love that stuff.
Makes them feel good.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. And now he'll tuck it and run. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
21 yards.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run on 1st down. It's Montgomery. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
4 yards on the pickup.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. From the 41, Trubisky. That is caught by Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Trubisky to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Cohen. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. Throwing now is Trubisky. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. On first down, Cohen. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On second down, Montgomery. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
The penalty is declined.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Powell on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.